Good morning, or as some of you would call it, an absolute unreasonable time to be awake. We're here, we're caffeinated, well, hopefully, and we've got plenty to talk about. Capcom is expanding, Bungie's latest game might be delayed, Naughty Dog has something brewing, and we've got updates from Square Enix, Sony, and more. Oh, and in the most Hideo Kojima move ever, he's apparently got a USB drive full of game ideas for after he's gone. So grab a cuppa, maybe a proper fry up if you're feeling ambitious, and let's get into all the latest gaming news.
That's all we need. That's all we need.
And that's it. Oh, that was
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
You like that?
That was about all I had time for this morning. Seriously. But Scotty, fresh off the vacay.
Yes, sir.
Feeling fresh, revitalized, and all the good stuff. You're feeling all that?
Yeah, man. Rejuvenated.
Yes.
Raring to go. One of the first things I did when I got back was message you and said, right, I'm back.
And so two weeks, it's a long time. The news is piled up. Oh my God, it's so much we're going to get into today. But before we do that, there was something, do you remember when they were talking about, they're de-extincting the dire wolf or something like that? You remember that?
Did they do something in the lab?
Yes.
This?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Something
I
weird.
saw it somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Like they
apparently,
recreated an animal which was extinct.
right.
Something like that.
Right.
Oh, one of those.
So
Okay.
come to find out, they didn't do that at all. Right. So yeah, this article is coming from Live Science. In the name of it, it says, "Our animals are gray wolves. Colossal didn't de-extinct dire wolves," chief scientist clarifies it. So the way that they brought this out to the public, and people absolutely ran with it, with the wording that they used, I get why they did. It's like, freaking Jurassic Park, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, basically.
But this doctor had to come out, or scientists had to come out and classify, we didn't actually. They're gray wolves. So I didn't actually look into this, but because they've been like growing animals in labs for like a long time. So I know sheep, the thing is, I don't think they stay alive for a very long time. But let's see. Let's take a look at this real quick.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
I'm
let's
sorry,
do it. Something different, man. No, let's look into it.
It says in an interview, Colossus Chief Science Officer Beth Shapiro has confirmed that the dire wolves, quote unquote, are indeed just gray wolves with 20 modified genes. However, she also argued that the company never tried to hide the wolves' identity. It's not possible to bring something back that is identical to a species that used to be alive. Our animals are gray wolves with 20 edits that are cloned, Shapiro told New Scientist. And we've said that from the very beginning. Colloquially, they're calling them dire wolves, and that makes people angry. So these aren't.
Yeah. You're gonna trigger some activists there, aren't you?
So it says Shapiro's latest comments isn't a significant departure from what she said, and the company have said previously. Colossal argues that if they create an animal that looks like a dire wolf, then they can call it a dire wolf. Oh my God. Okay. All right, Miss Shapiro, or PhD doctor, I guess. I don't know what to call her. Anywho's I wanted to clarify that because I saw that pass through the radar and I was like, whoa, what? So we aren't gonna have our Jurassic Park now? No. Was it Keesla Nublar or whatever, something like that? Not gonna have those? Whatever, dude.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, when something's gone, it's gone.
Yes.
Ultimately.
Yep.
Yeah, but I suppose the idea of it was pretty exciting, I guess,
Mhm.
because it's just the art of the possible.
Yeah.
But obviously, if that argument's been debunked, then great.
Yeah. It's like, then we can all turn into what's his name? Goldberg? Not Goldberg. The chaos scientist from Jurassic Park. What is
I can't remember his name. But I'm sure someone who's watching this does. So
Yes.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we're all
What's
chaos
that guy's
scientists.
name?
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't even remember what his name. My son knows, which is crazy to me. He loves that movie so much, dude. It's crazy. All right, so we got some trailers to get into. This first one's going to be Fraymakers. It's a 6-1 indie showcase. That's where it came from. So let's take a look at this. I thought this was really interesting. Let's take a look at this, and then let's hide. Hopefully this will work this time.
Yeah, we check this. We check the sound as well. I'll check that. I'll check that. All right. Lessons learned, man. We learn our lessons, man. We learn our lessons.
The casual consumer. That's what we are. Let's go.
Begin.
Oh, this is interesting. Woo! Okay.
This looks pretty sick.
It does. It looks fun.
It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Brawlhalla, just more 8-bit.
Oh, he's bought mates. I'm getting like Street Shark vibes.
Dude, this is kind of sick. I like it.
Yeah, for real.
But it's like the Smash Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Fraymakers.
I'm getting a lot of like different games from this, like Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Power Stone. I'm getting.
Okay.
What other game? I was like, Smash Brothers. I was thinking of another game as well. Streets of Rage.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I'm getting all sorts of vibes from that.
Right.
It's good. It's fun.
It
like,
does.
You know me with soundtracks. That soundtrack. Yeah, I'm all for it. It brings that nostalgia.
Yes, it does, dude. Way back in the day. That's sick. All right, so Fraymakers. That one might be on my list. I'm still heavily into Brawlhalla. Like, I put the most hours into that one. But that one, it might get me. That one
it does look good. It looks quite fun. When is it? Did it say when it was out?
Ooh, that's a good question. See? Asking the iRobot. That detective is the right question. Sorry.
No, that's so good. So good.
Let's see. It is.
I'm asking when it's out. Like, I need more games in my backlog.
I know. Right? The backlog is just getting so big.
I know.
It's so big now.
It's turned into a gallery of its own.
Oh, it's. I want to say it says it's out now. Or am I reading that wrong?
Ooh. If it's out, go get it.
Yeah. Right on, man.
Okay, that's good though.
Yeah, I like it. Anyway, let's get into our next one. This one is called The Precinct. I've seen a bunch of chatter like on X about this game, but I try to stay away from getting spoiled by the trailers and stuff like that. I want to wait until we were here.
Yeah.
So
likewise. Yep.
So let's get into this one. This one looks equally as good.
Averno City is losing the war on crime.
So when I first reminds me of Warriors, dude.
Oh yeah, for real.
And this just in, another armed robbery is in progress.
Every single one of you.
Oh, look at that.
To protect this city, its residents, and your fellow brothers in blue. That's what matters.
Oh, sorry. Doesn't this like it gives me Grand Theft Auto vibes, but you're the cop instead of the guy going after him.
Yeah.
This is kind of sick, man.
Okay, kid, you wanted the real deal? This is it.
Be advised, suspects are heavily armed. Approach with caution.
I wonder
Looks like that
if
has been taken into custody.
They're doing something at Warehouse 6.
Man.
Going in.
I wonder if,
You got to look at it.
yeah, me too. It does look really good.
The department did everything
It has like a comic book look to it with the bold outlines.
Yeah.
During a pursuit operation. Cops are deploying everything at their disposal.
But I wonder if Take-Two or Rockstar will ever do this,
I seen a lot of kids come out of the academy
because
all
I,
fired up.
and it doesn't even have to take this Sleeping Dogs approach to it, where you're undercover, but just a straight up, you know, cop on the beat. You know what I mean?
That'll be an interesting take, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what? On PS5?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, and it's out. It's out now. That looks interesting.
Oh man.
That does look very interesting. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of vibes from that. Bit of Saints Row.
Yeah. That didn't even.
The
dawn on
gameplay
me.
looked interesting.
Yeah.
The gameplay does look interesting because you got a bit of a bird's eye view
Mhm.
where you're controlling the character like an RPG type of game.
Yes. Yep.
And then there are some scenes where it looked like you were third person, sorry, for a bit.
Mhm.
So it looks quite diverse from a mechanic perspective.
Yeah.
But it does look interesting.
I like
It's
it.
fun.
I like the look of it. The look of it is really clean with the bold outlines. I like that. And it's the gameplay looks pretty fun. What gets me is like, why hasn't Rockstar taken that approach yet? You're always the guy terrorizing everything, but
Yeah,
that would kind of kill the appeal of it, right?
That was a very good point you said during the trailer. Like, imagine if Rockstar took that approach where the main protagonist is now a cop.
Yeah.
Like, that would be mad. Like, just not a dirty cop, just a cop.
You're right.
That's crazy. But how would that work in the Grand Theft Auto world? I don't know.
Exactly. Yes, because you're throwing all the appeal out the window. The appeal is to get in there and see how much you can F up until you get that 5 stars.
This is it. So
Yeah.
I think if they took that approach, then it would have to be like a dirty cop type of like vibe, like Daredevil type of
Yeah.
dirty cop with the kingpin and stuff like that. You know,
So, I'm thinking maybe not even put it in the Grand Theft Auto universe. Make it its own, like Red Dead.
yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true. Yeah. Oh, I suppose they kind of did with LA Noire.
Okay.
I don't know if you have you played that game, LA Noire.
Mm-mm.
It's you're a detective, and you and your partner go through and solve crimes.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is you go through scenes where it's kind of like a dialogue, and you got to pick the right question to ask, and you got to pick the right question to answer.
Right on. Okay.
And there's ramifications if you get it wrong, and there's obviously positive outcomes if you get it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the closest
Okay.
game really that they've done. But it has been done. You're more detectives than actual police officers. But
Yeah.
it has been done, and then they were pretty cool games, to be fair. Well,
Okay.
pretty cool game, LA Noire.
Sheesh. Here, I gotta Google that one real quick.
Yeah.
But the next one, oh, dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
Dude, okay,
man.
see, looking at this in the time frame, Godfather, that's what it looks like to me.
Yes.
That's sick,
Yeah,
dude.
it's like I don't think it's as far back as that, but I get exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Like it's around that time, like those type of like I don't know when it was set. I want to say 50s to 70s. That's
Okay.
a guess.
All
That's
right.
a guess. But yeah, give it a go. I
Okay.
think you might even get a deal on in the store at the minute. Possibly, I don't know. Like it's been out long enough, so
Who knows? Forget it. I think Rockstar, and what's really funny, if you go on Steam, a lot of the games from like big studios, you know, the PlayStation, you know, PlayStation's games, I think Xbox are pretty decent about it, but they don't go on discounts. you know, they
Yeah,
never do.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
If you have
Trying
a,
to squeeze out every single penny, right?
oh yeah, it's like someone's gonna get buy this. Ooh, oh yeah, and I was thinking about this. Oh my god, I'm bringing that up.
Do it.
Let's watch this last trailer, because there was a conversation about $80 games and where we should be pointing the blame. Let's watch Blaze of Fire real quick, and then we'll get into that, because that right there, you'll have to watch. I want to hear what you think about it. But here we go.
Yeah.
We are born of iron and fire. Our will
Oh, man.
is tempered like steel.
It's like the way that they're doing this with the different kinds of enemies that you see. Like, it just makes me want to know more about this. Out now. Look at that. All
Okay.
right.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not really into those type of games, I must admit.
Right on. It looks like
But I can see the lure though. I can see the lure.
The it looks like it has a really interesting universe, dude. Like, there was just enough to make me, holy crap, what's going on here? You know, I was like, oh crap, dude. Like, they're getting, and again, I didn't watch that one. I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, and that's the I guess the idea of trailers. Like, you wanna try to win the audience over within seconds.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go for it. Go for it.
It was like a lot of talk about, you know, people's attention spans being, you know, that of a goldfish and stuff like that. They didn't really get into a lot, but it really has me interested. It's got me. It got me.
Yeah, it was short, but sometimes that's all you need, because it's like that was a summary of the game, but also it had the reviews on there and they were very high scores. So that in itself would be enough for someone to say, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. If they're into like those type of games, that type of, I don't know what the genre is called, but like type of adventure, not universe, but like, you know, those I'm gonna say Elden Ring type of.
Yes,
that's the type of vibes I get.
Yes.
Like from that.
that was exactly what I was gonna say, dude. You're spot on. Yeah, it looked very Elden Ringish. What do they call them? They call them
yeah, they call them something, don't they? Not like RPGs, but it's called something.
Not a roguelite. What am I thinking? Gosh, I can't remember. Been out of it. It's rusty, absolutely rusty. I've been trying to keep up with the news and everything like that. Oh, and so my wife, I told her I wanted a Blackstone, like a where you can grill and, you know, food stuff, right?
Okay.
And
yeah.
so one weekend, or my couple off days, I was going ham on it, and I've become obsessed with brunch. Like, I want to invite all the neighbors over and make pancakes and all that. Dude, it's just ridiculous. I don't know what's happening to me.
You invite the neighbors over, for real? Okay.
they
Fox is cooking up.
I know. It's like, what are you doing, kid? Golly.
That's cool.
But, golly. So it was on Instagram, and gosh, I want to say, was it, maybe I can find it. I want to say it was IGN. I want to say, and I'm hoping they hadn't gotten rid of it if it was them. But yeah, she was going ham. And I get a lot where she was coming from. I get where she was coming from with some of it, but I have to reject.
Was this the 80 pound games or $80 games? Was it?
Yeah.
It'd be good to see that, actually, because I'm intrigued with what everyone thinks about the price change for games.
Oh my gosh. According to Oh, here we go. It was Polygon. So we were close. We were close. Right on, Polygon. Okay. Yep. Here it is.
Good man.
Okay.
I had faith in you, man. I had faith.
Let's see.
Gotta have
this should
faith.
fit. And this is on the whatchamacallit, the whatchamacallit. Oh god. Okay, here. Sorry. I think I was trying to go here. But let's turn the volume up. Okay. No.
Are not anti-consumer, and I think people
Can you
should
hear
stop
that?
saying it. A lot of people have sticker shock
Yeah.
over the $80 price tag for some Nintendo Switch 2 games. People are used to paying $60 to $70 for a game, and a lot of them don't want to pay more. They're saying the price hike is anti-consumer, and they're wrong, and it's bugging me. The $60 price tag on AAA games was standardized back in 2005. A lot has changed since then. For one, games have gotten bigger. Two, everything's gotten more expensive. Back in 2005, the average movie ticket was $6.41. Cable prices have risen 51% since then. And between 2005 and 2025, the general inflation on goods and services was 62%. What hasn't kept up with that is Americans' wages. In 2005, the average wage index was $36,592, the equivalent of $57,970 in 2023, which is the most recent year that I have data for. The average wage in 2023 was $66,621. So wages have gone up around 12%. And honestly, these numbers might be conservative because everything that has happened in the last 2 years and everything that's going on right now. We need to stop looking at $80 game prices as anti-consumer. The economy and wage stagnation specifically is anti-worker. If you are working to earn money and looking to spend that hard-earned money on your gaming hobby, you have no reason to position yourself as a consumer. It makes it sound like the world of work and the world of buying things are untethered from each other, as if the problem is that things are magically expensive and not that people aren't being paid enough and that wealth is being consolidated by a small number of already wealthy people. A AAA video game probably should cost $80, maybe more. Video games have gotten a lot bigger, a lot more graphically intense, and a lot more complicated since 2005. And if that's too expensive for you, you're right to be mad about it, and you should be yelling at the right people to fix it. $80 games are...
Now, I don't want to take, anything away from this, but I said the exact same thing for a few weeks, months now. You know what I reckon? I reckon we get more eyes on your channel than we know, and I think they take snippets of what we say, and then they get showcased to a wider audience, and the rest is history. Basically, that's what I think.
Right on.
But she is right. Like it's games have been this price for a while, and they do drop eventually. Like I remember back in the day with Super Nintendo games on PlayStation 1, like they might not have been 80 quid, but they were like 70, round that mark to start with, and then it eventually drops. But I think the problem is salaries are not aligned with the prices of games. Like wages are not being increased. So you're basically putting prices up on games, but individuals at work are not getting a salary bump aligned with inflation, and that's why everyone's probably complaining. I think complaints would happen regardless anyway. Thinking about it, people have like more money, they'll still complain.
Go for it. Go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, but she's right. She's right. I think she's right.
Yeah. I don't think that what she's talking about is mutually exclusive. $80 games are expensive, no matter if you're getting paid enough or not. You're like really close to $100. You know what I mean? Now, it's true, inflation, all that good stuff. But no one asked these guys to make a game that's $350 million. Spider-Man 2, Insomniac. Why do we have to eat the cost that your budget? Why do we have to do that? And then look at Space Marine 40K. Games like Alan Wake, who make it on a fraction of that. So you mean to tell me that they can't do that? If you make a good game, I don't care how much it costs, people are gonna buy it. As simple as that. I mean, except if you're getting into the $80. Now, there are a select few companies that can get away with that. Take-Two with Grand Theft Auto, they can get away with that. They can get away with something like that. Not that I'm talking a very select few studios, but everybody else, don't make your games $80. And then what she said with the stagnating salaries. So, you know, why in the world would, knowing this, and don't think game companies don't know this, why would they think it's a smart idea to make them $80 to where more people can't afford them? That doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, I get what she's saying. Inflation and stagnating wages and all that good stuff. But it still doesn't change the fact that $80 is expensive. And, you know, with the average person, you know, salaries being, you know, like $66,000, which that's not nothing. But, you know, if they're looking at a game that's $70 versus $80, you go to Steam, you can find them for $39.99. You know, they're going to go for these lower price games, and these $80 games are just going to be standing on the shelves. I can almost guarantee that. And that's one of the things that I want them to look at the most. It's like, if you make your games more expensive, less people are going to buy them. So they're just going to sit on the shelves.
It's true. It's true. I'm just seeing the comments on that video. It's saying this is disingenuous. Both things can be true. Which that's the bit I agree with. Both things can be true.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some people have said, how much did they pay you to say this? You can tell who watched the end and those who didn't.
Yeah.
Why would I spend £80 on the games when things are increasingly more broken at launch with the fix it later mentality? I agree with that.
Dude,
that's a fair comment. That's a very fair comment. Someone else said, she's cooked beginning to end. Shame people can't handle anything longer than, I imagine, 15 minutes or 15 seconds before getting bored. Only one paying this much for a completed project, no paid DLC. So you can see the argument from both sides. And I think this is where we need to meet halfway. It's like we need a game that's right. Look, inevitably technology has grown. Right, there are going to be mistakes. Like even back in the day, right? And we've said this before previously. When we had the SNES, when we had like the Sega's X, Y, and Z, there were games which were buggy. To alleviate that problem, you had to go buy the game again. Let's not forget this. Right? Let's not forget this. Now there's the option to download patches. I don't think fans who bought the game should be paying for bugs to be fixed. I think that's definitely a no. I don't think that should happen. But there are pipelines available now where fixes can be deployed online. So I think we need to look at that and not just turn around and be like, oh, I want a game to be completely 100% test proof. Like you're gonna find minor bugs. It happens. Right?
Minor bugs. But if we look at a game like Bethesda, or a game, but like Bethesda with one of their new ones, they touted that, oh, we've got hundreds of new worlds or hundreds of planets you can explore, but a lot of them are barren. And before they patched in the buggy, you had to walk everywhere. It's like that kind of thing. It's like, come on, guys. What makes you think?
I mean, there are developers who take the mick. I'm not going to name names, but like you could probably guess when I describe it. So it's like you have a game. I'll give you a clue. A fighting game.
Right?
And you say, right, here are your characters on day one. And then they bring out more characters. Oh, this is going to cost you 20 quid. They bring out more characters. Oh, it's going to cost you another 20 quid. And it's like, wait, hold on. Why couldn't you just give us the full game with all these characters originally?
No, that Tekken is definitely freaking guilty of that. Even Tekken 7, go ahead and Tekken 7. Golly, man.
No, it's true. I mean, like, I don't know. I just think it needs to be done in the right way. I suppose in conclusion. So if you're gonna release games, obviously charge the customer responsibly. Firstly, right?
Yes.
So if they pay £80 for the game, then it's £80 for the game. So whatever comes with it later on, it should be arguably free, right? Otherwise, Otherwise, DLCs at this point is a brand new game, isn't it? In theory, so you're paying for the game again.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say something else then. What else was I gonna say? Games, £80, X, Y, and Z. No, it's gone. It's gone. No, sorry. You said a good point. Who's asking for these games that are costing 400 million to make or whatever it is?
Right.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
So and that's obviously going to have knock-on effects. So if someone, if a company decides to spend, I don't know, 400 million pound for a game, for example, includes marketing, dev, build, testers, like everything, right? That costs obviously need to be made up somehow, and the only way that's going to be made up is the pricing.
Yeah,
people buying the game.
Yep.
But then it's a double-edged sword, because if you don't bring out a game with the quality of the graphics, the quality of the sound, the quality of the mechanics, gamers will say, well, this game isn't good enough.
Yeah.
So why am I going to buy this game? Regardless of what price it is, it's not a next-gen game.
Right on.
So it's one of those. I think it's a battle which probably isn't going to get one ultimately.
I definitely see where you're coming from. It's
Yeah.
But like when you have the Expedition 33, that new one that just came out, and is freaking putting all of these other studios to shame. When Baldur's Gate 3 came out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Space Marine 40K, you know, these games are proof positive that you can have a decent budget, sell a good game, and make money. So there, to me, there is no excuse for these other studios to Insomniac be spending $350 million on a game. And actually, that actually brings us to, let's see, our first one. Let's just hop in.
Look at that segue. Look at that segue.
Yeah. Freaking Automaton. So Capcom, they are expanding. So apparently they've had like 8 straight years of growth that they are ready to cash in on. So this is from Automaton, and it's Capcom to continue upsizing workforce by 100 employees each year. And not only that, they've got a new building they're going to be starting on in Osaka, right? So as it reads, says here's this is the bit about them creating the structure. Anyway, to this end, the company is constructing a new building near its headquarters in Osaka, scheduled to be completed in 2027. In addition, Capcom has acquired another nearby piece of land for construction of another future development site. The developer comments that its goal is to secure a working environment where its creators can unleash their talents fully. Now, hopefully, I mean, with Monster Hunter and all this good stuff, they are in a position to where they can grow if they needed to. So we talked about this on the last time we were on, the CEO of Arrowhead, where he was like, we don't need to expand. You need to hire, take care of the people, your employees, and make good games, right? None of this, not Gearbox, but Embracer Group, going up and buying all these IPs and hiring people. Ubisoft, 20,000 employees. It's like, and the way he said it was way better and more eloquent, and like it was more heartfelt, you know, because he showed sympathy for the people who are getting fired and not fired, but laid off, you know. And I don't know how to put it in those kinds of words, but what I'm saying is, Ubisoft, do you need 20,000 employees? You know what I mean? Embracer, did you really need to buy up all these IPs? And, you know, and now, you know, they're selling them off to you know, save their company now. You can grow, but grow responsibly, I think was his words. And what I'm hoping is that Capcom has looked at the numbers and said that we are in a position to where we can expand and expand responsibly. Now, so Capcom, financially, they're killing it, right? Do you think this expansion signals new franchises? Do you think any new franchises be popping out of this? And or would they keep leaning on the classics?
They will still lean on the classics. Like the Street Fighters, they'll definitely lean on that. Resident Evil, they've done, haven't they? So they'll lean on that because that's their cash cows.
Yes,
effectively. Like you're always gonna have Evo every year. Evo's like fighting game tournaments for anyone that doesn't know.
Right on.
And that that consists of like Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, X, Y, and Z. Because I watched that, I'm a big fan of Evo. But
Very
anyway,
cool.
That's something else. So yeah, they'll stick to those, but they might make something new. I think they probably will need to inevitably because that will give something obviously fresh, something new, something different, and technology has grown. So I assume, as you said, they've looked at the numbers and said, right, we're in a position to hire more staff. Whether that's to make those legacy old IPs better or whether it's to build new IPs. It could be successful. It is a risk, obviously, because as you said, with other companies, if you bring the staff in, you need return of investment. So if you're bringing in, 20 new staff members, you purchase new real estate, you purchase a building, an office. You obviously need to pay for all of that. So whatever games they bring out needs to be good enough to sell. Then obviously you get return of investment for paying off the offices, the staff, but it's more profit. So it's difficult to argue with Capcom because they've been successful for years, right? So you'd like to think they know what they're doing. Is what I think.
You'd like to. Another
What
question.
do you think?
So me personally, I'm just hoping for the best for Capcom because I don't want to see them in a position like Ubisoft or Embracer Group or the countless other studios that we've seen that we grew up with are now spiraling the drain right now. I just don't want to see them go down that same route. So hopefully, they're in a position.
I think they'll be all right.
I do too.
Like if they've had like money in the bank for years making profits, I imagine they probably put money aside for a rainy day. So if they and smart companies and smart individuals would do that. So you save and put money away first to a point where, right, if this doesn't work out, we've got enough money to cover the losses. And I imagine that's what Capcom have done if they've waited a while to make this decision. Which companies should do.
Yes, 100%. If you're gonna grow, I mean, grow, but
I mean, even in everyday life, man, like I would advise anyone have like a year's worth of savings because like you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Like you might get laid off.
This is true.
Whatever. So you need to cover expenses.
That's true.
That's my advice. I'll give that advice from someone that's been in that situation. Trust me, you need to have savings.
Right on.
You need it.
Yes.
Sorry, you said you had another question.
Well, I think we kind of answered that second one. It was like, so with what we've seen in the game industry right now, I want to say it's upwards of tens of thousands of layoffs of devs and rank and file people, no CEOs at the moment, but are they following down that same path? Do you think that will inevitably lead to them expanding then shrinking the workforce, or do they know what they're doing? Which you already answered that question.
I think you said that. I think they know what they're doing, but it's business. It's going to be tricky. It's a risk. And this is why the guys at the top are paid the big bucks, guys and ladies, of course. That's why they're paid the big bucks. To make these decisions. It could work, but at the same time it might not work. But
it's true.
I think it will work on the basis that they've waited a while to use those profits. And I imagine they have a forecast with the games that they are projected to release. Like they just didn't they release like a pack with all the old school Street Fighter games, Power Stone, everything that come out recently. So strategically, and that's what I'm saying. Power Stone is an old game on Dreamcast, and they brought it out in this day and age, and a lot of people who followed it are gassed for it. They'll buy it. So it's almost as if Capcom, they probably have other games we've forgotten about from back in the day, and they know if they bring it back out, people are gonna buy it.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love what they're doing with the Resident Evil franchise. Revamping those, dude. I'm sorry, I love that. Oh, and this is another one too. So they plan on hiring 100 new employees each year. So that's another thing that they're doing. It's freaking I hope they know what they're doing.
But you know what? It could be, because I've seen companies do this. They might be hiring, a number of them might be graduates. And if they are graduates, like fresh out of uni, it's going to cost you less money in theory, because their salary demands won't be as high as
that's very true
developers. So
that's very true.
I think they know what they're doing. I mean, I'm just reading the article now. Revenue and profits for the fiscal year projected at all-time highs. It seems that to achieve this mid-term, longer-term, Capcom's relying on substantial expansion. I think they know what they're doing. I think they know what they're doing. Right. I mean, come on. I think they know what they're doing. They've been around long enough. I mean, but I wouldn't worry. Right. I say that, and then next year, like you said, Scott, you said not to worry.
I should have worried the whole time.
I know. Nah, they'll be alright.
Yeah. Capcom, Godspeed. Keep, freaking pumping out those bangers.
That's it, man.
Street Fighter 6.
Saying that, funny you say that. Street Fighter, everything. It's interesting. Capcom, they haven't really got into movies. Obviously, Resident Evil is lined to Capcom. So imagine if they got into movies as well. Imagine the profits that they can get off that. So revamp Street Fighter, which I heard they're gonna do. By the way, I heard that's a rumor.
Oh man, I don't know if they can do that.
A new Street Fighter movie.
Oh man, the first one with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Funny story. I think, was it Jean-Claude? He was meant to be part of the Mortal Kombat movie, but he chose Street Fighter instead.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I would have loved to see him in both. Well, he was in Street Fighter. I would have loved to see him in Mortal Kombat too. Dude, that's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's like you go back and watch this, like watching the Power Rangers. It's like, what was I thinking? But
I know, man.
It's a guilty pleasure. I love that. I love that movie, dude. It's so good. Now, Dragon Age, the Veilguard. It came out and immediately crashed. Now, there is a voice actress. Her name's Alex Wilton Regan. She believes that the game was killed by just the negative press and the negative word of mouth about it. Gamers killed Veilguard. So let's get into that real quick.
Dragon Age 3, was it, or something like that?
The Veil. I want to say it's 4.
Oh, the Veil. Oh, yeah. It rings a bell. It rings a bell. I know. They didn't do too well, did it?
No. No. So this is what she says. Let's see. Oh, okay. So mixed reactions. People who wanted to see the game fail or wanted to see BioWare fail. So the actor who plays the female Inquisitor in both Dragon Age Inquisition and Dragon Age The Veilguard told IGN that she was absolutely devastated to see BioWare's latest game fail to find a larger audience, despite mostly positive review scores from critics. So if we're not talking about user scores, they don't really mean a thing, in my opinion, because we know about the kind of incestuous relationship between media and the game, film, whatever industry you're talking about, because access is tied to it. So if you want to keep your access, you will give favorable you'll give it favorable reviews to continue to get your access. If you are 100% honest, like let's say you hated the game, you told everyone you hated the game in a review, you lose access. So unless it's a user review, I don't really give it much credence. Like Rotten Tomatoes, you got the critics and the users. I always look at the users. You know what I mean?
Yeah, likewise, man. Like, yeah, definitely, because good point. Like those guys could have been not the users, but the mainstream media could have been paid off.
Yeah.
I mean, I will give you a bit of money. We need it as a marketing tool, because they're not going to turn around and say the game's rubbish. Because then your marketing tactic has failed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
And we've seen it time and time again. Yeah. So I want to say this is the full one. Okay, so I feel absolutely devastated, blah, 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 blah. I also think a lot of people kind of want to see it fail or want to see BioWare fail, either because they're just really bad people on the internet, of which there are unfortunately many, as we have discovered. So, okay. And she was in Inquisition, so I don't really understand how she's... Anyway, you gave us trailers. That's how you let us know, hey, you know, here's a taste test of what the full game is going to be like. A lot of people did not like it, not to mention the micromanaging that EA was doing with the studio. You know what I mean? It was going to be a live service game, and then they had to reverse course and turn it into a, you know, an RPG, right? So all that is true, but you know, once people saw it, they didn't really take any of that feedback and, you know, get back to cooking. They said, here it is, and you know, if you don't like it, you know, tough. This is what it is. This, you know, eat the slop, eat it, and be happy. It's like, that's not how this works, dude. And oh, another one is like, going back to the video that we watched on Instagram. She said that we shouldn't look at ourselves as consumers. 100% disagree with that. This is a product. With anything, you know, you have to win me over if you want me to buy your product. And Velgar didn't do that. Velgar didn't do that. And they're mad at people saying, you know, giving, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are people out there that were like completely trashing the game for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna get trolls, you know? Like,
right.
That's just, that's gonna happen.
But saying that's like the vast majority of people, you know, I think that is completely disingenuous, and it lessens the argument on your side. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, there are bad people out there. Unfortunately, there's many of them. Okay, but what about the people who were giving you honest feedback? Are you stuffing them in that same category? You just dismiss them, you know? This
is it. Like, I mean, I do get it. Like, there are, let's be honest, some people online are just, you know, trolls, idiots, all the words you can think of, right? And they do want anyone to fail, right? Because that's some people are toxic like that. Yeah. But as you said, you've got your loyal fan base where they will give constructive feedback. Yeah. And that needs to be taken on board. And unless that's mentioned in this article, which I don't think it is by the sounds of it, you're putting all of them in the same bucket. Yeah. Yep. And so what's this going to do for your next game?
Oh man. And not to mention, like, all the clips that went around and how they were putting like modern current day stuff from the real world in this fantasy, like not just fantasy, but it was like, it's like dark ages. It's like going back to the dark ages fantasy. Is like, why in the world would you do that? You know what I mean?
This doesn't make any sense. It's who was saying this? Was it like one of the devs? Or
she was a voice actress.
Voice. Oh, okay. So I mean, goes back to the point. Is she being paid to say that?
I think that she's too close to the project to kind of see what people were talking about. You know what I mean? I think she's too close to it. It's kind of like if you worked on a project and you put everything you could into it and you are proud of that work, and then you put it out in the world and people don't like it. I think it's fair. I think it's natural to be like, to just try to blame everything else. In very layman's terms, I guess.
I think if voice actors are going to get involved, in terms of like, you know, I wouldn't say feedback, but giving their views on stuff like that, you need to be mindful, because like, you can't turn around and say people wanted the game to fail, full stop. Yeah. Like, you can't say that. You can't say individuals wanted the game to fail. Like, it's not a good look. I don't think. You were paid to do a job. Yeah. That's it, really. Yeah. Yeah. You know, like, you can't just turn around and say, the individuals wanted the game to fail. All right, cool. This is 2025. Like, we know individuals on the internet are terrible people. They can be terrible. Yeah. Right? We know that.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
But I think, like, all you're trying to do, it sounds like, is try to protect the game. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. But it's like, let's look at it from another angle. what is the negative feedback? Okay, is it? Can you concur with the fans as to why they think how they think?
You know,
Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're not taking constructive feedback, and you're just saying, "Oh, people want the game to fail." Well, no, I'm fairly certain. I don't follow this franchise, but I follow the gaming industry,
yeah,
and I see a lot of constructive feedback, which probably outweighs the negative feedback.
yes, yeah, and it feels like they're kind of conflating the two, even though you do give like negative feedback, it it could kind of encompass a lot of stuff. You know, you have the people out there that say, "Oh, this game sucks." Well, why does it suck? And they can't give you a reason, right?
Exactly.
But the ones that are talking about the mechanics, they don't like the look of the characters. They think it's, the worlds are uninspired and all that good stuff. That's constructive criticism that you need to take in and maybe, add a little more. And this is where like betas, the open betas, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That way you can,
get
feedback and then
instant feedback.
yes, Concord. Yeah, but I don't think that she's taken into account that there were people out there sounding the alarm like, hey, we don't think this is going to be good, and if it comes out the way that you're portraying it, the way you're displaying it now, I won't be buying this game. They didn't take that into account. I feel like they thought that Dragon Age could get along on name alone, and they bet on that and they lost big time.
Yeah. I've just on that comment in the article. If you scroll down a little bit, Fox. So she mentioned there. She said, like she personally thought that it was a good game. Yeah, of course you would, because you were voice acting in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to turn around and say this game was bad because you're voice acting in it.
Oh.
That's part of marketing.
That's something Nas would say for sure.
Yeah, I know. Shout out to Nas.
Shout out to Nas.
Like, it's true. Like, if you're on a game, you're not going to turn around and be like, "Oh yeah, this game's bad. Don't buy it." You're better off just staying quiet because you're not going to win this battle.
Right.
Like, if you can't voice and say the game's bad, because obviously that's not good for the business.
Yeah.
Right? You can't turn around and say, "Oh, the game's great, you should play it," because it's like, well, you're clearly lying because fans have played it and they gave constructive feedback which you don't want to listen to. So this is why I say voice actors should just remain impartial and just do the job you're paid to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm saying. And the thing is, no, go on.
I would have liked to see like her rationality behind it. It's like, oh, they're just bad people out there giving bad reviews, on the game. And it was like, okay, well, what do those reviews say? What are they saying in those reviews? Do you even know? Have you talked to anyone who played the game and didn't like it? Instead of just carte blanche saying, all these bad people killed our game. That's it. That's all it was.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
come on now. It failed so spectacularly. You can't just lean on, oh, it's just bad people. They gave it bad press, bad word of mouth. If a game's good, there is an example. I mean, Black Myth Wukong. Look how they tried to bury that game and it sold through the roof.
Yeah,
now, granted, there were a lot of them were Chinese, and it's like a billion of those guys walking around. Guys and girls walking around. That could, inflate the sales on that. However, there were plenty of people who aren't Chinese that bought that game and absolutely loved it, even though there was bad press. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I bought it.
So maybe just reevaluate this whole thing, dude. I can't do it failed because it was bad people. It's like, everybody's not wrong, dude. Not everybody's
This
wrong.
is it.
Yeah.
If you scroll down again, folks, just last bit of this, I know you probably got other stuff as well we want to discuss. But it says here in the paragraph, at launch, the Veil Guard was review bombed online. Criticism of the game being worked centered around its inclusion of a non-binary companion character and the ability to play to choose to be a transgender, right? Blah, 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 blah. Now sits with mixed player response, saying that the game is LGBTQ+, woke, etc. She's then said, people were attacking the game before it was released. It's ridiculous. How can you judge a game, a book, a film, a TV show before it's actually released? You can't. It's an idiotic stance to take. Well, what do you mean before it's released? People have obviously seen the game to know that this is the characters they could choose.
Yeah.
So they're obviously not happy with that.
Yeah.
Because again, it feels like a thing which again is forced. Like it's forced. And I remember like seeing that paragraph just reminded me, like there were obviously snippets and enough of the game for fans to see it and give their opinion on it.
Yeah.
So to turn around and be like, oh, it's not even released. You can't say what you want to say about it. It's an idiotic stance to take. Well, that's like anyone else saying to you, you're a voice actor, so you can't turn around and say this game is good.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously going to say that, isn't it? And that's a ridiculous take.
Yeah. And I mean, and so that what kills me about that is like, how can't you how do you, it's okay. I'm not even going to go there, even though it's a good point, but how do you find a book that you want to read? You look at the cover, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You read the
blurb.
Yeah, you read the blurb on the back and it gives you like a synopsis of what this book is going to be like. That is a games trailer. That is a movie trailer. If you're not using your game trailer or movie trailer like that, then you're wrong. You're supposed to be giving people a snippet of what they are in for if they buy your game or watch your movie. To say that, oh, you can't not like something before it's released, that I can absolutely not like something before it's released. I do it all the time. Freaking, if I look at something, like if I'm at a Mexican restaurant, Chinese restaurant, if it doesn't look appealing to me, I'm not getting it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Common sense, right? I'm going back to this again. Like, it would be good to see what comments were said in her view, right? Dude. Like, show us snippets. Show us snippets. Show us the game and then show us snippets. Like, just do a comparison. Oh, is what they're saying actually true, though, about the game?
Yes.
So if they say the graphics are not good, all right, let's look at the graphics. If they're saying, oh, they don't like this, all right, let's look at that.
Yeah.
Like, where's the receipts? We want the receipts.
And before any of these like short snippets of, you know, the quote unquote woke stuff came out, longtime fans of the game were like, I don't like the departure from the look. Even the characters look so much different than the other three games. And you know, fans were like, I don't like this. I don't like how it looks. And I don't like how you know, everyone's being portrayed in this trailer. They had this information back when they released the first trailer. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 years ago. And they decided to not take that into account. It's like, dude, you have no one to blame but yourself, because like, again, before any of this stuff was made public, people were letting you know, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling this game.
Exactly. Yeah, they're letting you know exactly, but yet you still don't listen and you still do it anyway.
Oh yeah.
You know, like there's some games. I respect the games that I followed, because you know I've been playing those games since God knows when. There's some things where they've changed characters. And they change characters' genders. Like, characters used to be a certain character, and now they've changed that character to another character. I didn't like it. Yeah. And it's not because there's any discrimination. It's like, I just don't like the idea of it. So if I had this idea of a character being this character, that person's a male, because I grew up seeing this ninja, there's a clue, as a male. So then when all of a sudden you make them a female in an alternative universe, all right, cool. Like, some people might like it, but I don't like that, because I remember this character being this character. Yeah. Who asked for that character to change? Like, why would they need to do that? Exactly. That's when you start enforcing things and doing things like that. Yeah. This is how the audience feel. Yep. You know, like try doing a survey and sending it to the fans and asking the question, how would you feel if this character was changed in this circumstance? Yeah. And just see what the results are. Listen to your fan base. Because then if you don't do that, you're just forcing it onto people, and people won't buy your game. Yeah. And there are plenty of games that, like, in the reverse, like if Gigi likes this, Horizon Zero Dawn. What if they made her a man? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It would be so bad. I need to get back into that game, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's games where females are protagonists, and I don't think anyone finds a problem with that. No. It's like when you switch them. It's like Tomb Raider. Like, I don't know anyone that dislikes Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, right? But then if you turn someone into, I don't know, like Tomb Raider into a man and said, "Oh, Lee Croft," you know, people are gonna think, "Oh no, what?"
Yeah, I'm not getting this game.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
What happened to my Lara?
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, dude,
like,
crazy.
Come on, man. These guys need to wake up.
Wake up. Wake up. Goodness gracious. All right, let's move on to our next one. This one, Marathon. Marathon's been having some huge issues. There was the plagiarism scandal that just recently happened with him, and apparently, I don't think this artist works with him anymore, but he lifted like someone's art from it, like it was like legit plagiarism. And this isn't the first time they've actually went through something like this, which begs the question is like, if it's happened 4 times, is it really a mistake at this point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I think they do. Yeah. And then the closed alpha too. They had the closed alpha, and the numbers aren't good on that. People aren't really feeling this game at all. So you have the scandal, the plagiarism scandal, and then the closed alpha where not a lot of people were feeling the game. Now, let's get a little bit into the article real quick, so that they do kind of go over this a little bit. So first, the studio was rocked by an art theft scandal when it was revealed that some of Marathon's promotional materials and in-game art were directly copied from an indie artist's work, Anti-Real. Bungie quickly apologized and promised to review all assets, but the damage was already done. Following the whole art theft controversy, several reports have now painted a pretty troubling picture of what's happening behind the scenes at Bungie. Multiple sources say morale amongst developers is in a free fall, and many team members feeling frustrated by leadership decisions and overall direction of the project. Some have even gone as far as calling Marathon's leadership toxic and humiliating to work with, saying that warnings about focusing only on PvP were brought up early on, but were completely ignored by higher ups. So, yeah, they are in big trouble. And so what really kills me about this is they really had something great with Destiny, and apparently that's fallen off really hard. And they decide to try to get into, apparently Marathon isn't like, this isn't a new concept. They've actually revamping this IP, but it's sad to see Bungie falling off the way that they are, dude. It's really sad. But here we go. So this is what we're talking about now. Apparently, I don't think it has been publicly stated yet, but rumors are Sony is pulling money from the marketing and things like that. So they think that it's going to be delayed here in a second. So this quote here: "I was told by someone familiar with the marketing plans in a key overseas market that there are now no plans to do paid marketing for Marathon at all." Moriarty said during the podcast, "I don't know if those plans were affected by what was recently happened or if that was always the plan or whatever, but it is considered a fairly unusual move for a game of this high profile." And I wonder how much Sony paid for that one. But
I know, right?
So they're not in a good place right now. In post Destiny, what are you thinking is going to happen to this studio? Because Bungie has stopped delivering for a while. Do you think they're on the firewalk path right now?
I don't know. It'll be really surprising, because obviously these are the guys who built Halo.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
And Destiny, from what I saw, was a very successful game.
Mm-hmm. For a
Destiny,
while. Yep.
Yeah, for a while.
Yep.
I don't know. It's difficult to say. But if there's no marketing for their new game, Marathon, then obviously marketing's a big thing.
Yes.
So if there's no marketing for a game, how are we gonna know about it? How are new fans, new leads are gonna know about it?
Exactly.
Like, how are you gonna sell with no marketing? You're relying on Halo and Destiny fan bases, really,
mm-hmm.
because they obviously follow Bungie, I assume.
Yeah.
Or Bungie.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it hurts more, I don't know. It depends how well this game does. Because if the game doesn't do well, then I imagine we're gonna have that same scenario again, where you might get layoffs. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Don't like saying it, but unfortunately, studios may close, layoffs may happen if sales aren't met. But I don't know. So is it simply because Sony just staying away from this because there's plagiarism activities involved, and they don't want that backlash?
So what I think is it's a little bit of the alpha test coming back and people not being super interested in the game, and the scandals that they're recently going through. Now, with this was going to be another live service attempt. This is right off the heels of Concord. This is them, giving it another go.
Yep.
It doesn't look like this game is going to succeed, and if it doesn't, do you think that PlayStation will change their live service strategy? Because
maybe
right on. Okay. Yep. I agree. 100%.
I was gonna say I think it was a good idea that I think there was an alpha or beta closed alpha. Yeah. So the fact they did that was good. Because you're testing the waters, you're seeing what the engagement is like, you're seeing what the feedback's like, and obviously based on feedback, they're seeing it as well. The feedback isn't good enough for us to invest marketing into this game.
Yeah.
So it might actually save them money, because if they put 100 million, 200 million to marketing for a game which might not succeed, then it sounds like to me a lesson might have been learned. Which is always a good thing. Like, anyone learning lessons, like that's a skill for me.
I gotta tell you. Oh man, they say lessons not learned in blood are soon forgotten. I tell you what, there was a lot of blood shed on Concord, dude. Oh my gosh.
So all I say to that is, obviously, I hope Bungie's been around for years, so I hope obviously sales are good. For them, and obviously everyone working there. But I think you've got to take your hats off to Sony for doing the beta, trying a different approach, just to see what the feedback's going to be. Because I don't know if Concord was released or at least given to fans in this fashion. I don't know if they did a beta or anything like that. I don't know.
I want to say they did, and it didn't look good.
Yeah, this is it. But they didn't listen. So it sounds like they've obviously listened and thought, right, let's not put money into marketing, because this might bomb.
Yeah. And not only that, it was going to be not a full price, but they were, it wasn't going to be free to play. And I want to say that was not. Concord had a bunch of different issues that, gamers did kind of sound an alarm on with that one too. But I think if they made Concord free to play, more people would have checked it out. And same thing with this. They're not making it free to play. So people are like, okay, I'll pop in, try this game. If I don't like it, because, with that free tag on it, it's like there's no commitments. I can get in, try it, and get out if I want to.
Exactly.
Which would get more people in there to try it. And then, more people would stay. But since they're putting a price tag on it, people are reevaluating it. They're like, if I'm going to spend my money on something, I want it to be good, And so I'll avoid this. I'll avoid this and wait for something better to come out, or just stick with my backlog, or go to a live service I know is good, or free to play. So,
it's true. Like, it's difficult to commit to games in this day and age, because obviously the prices. But I mean, when games that come out instantly, they're usually a high price anyway.
Yeah.
But when it's difficult for fans to commit to a game that's getting negative feedback by the looks of it on the back of a beta or alpha.
Oh yeah.
And Sony's not putting marketing money into it. Like, that sounds like, we're not going to do anything. So why would a fan pay for a game where it's not even being supported?
Yes.
So
$1 million question right there.
This is it, actually. You just reminded me. So Concord, I remember there was an article. I can't remember the person's name. Do I remember her name? No, I can't remember the individual's name. But she or he said that Sony didn't back Concord. And I said, and I said, hold on, that's false, because Sony put a lot of money, I believe, into the marketing.
Yeah.
So you can't really say they didn't back Concord.
I remember that.
So it may sound like a lessons learned here, because they're not putting money into the marketing for this based on feedback.
Yeah. We talked about that on the prior live stream. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. I don't forget these things. I am losing my memory as I get older, but there's certain things I just don't forget.
Right on. Freaking, oh my gosh. So apparently it's legal for, like, let's say Sony, Xbox, Nintendo to completely brick their consoles so they're unusable. Check this out. So, why console makers can legally brick your game console. So, it says, earlier this month, Nintendo received a lot of negative attention for an end-user license agreement update granting the company the claimed right to render Switch consoles permanently unusable in whole or in part for violations such as suspected hacking or piracy. As it turns out, though, Nintendo isn't the only console manufacturer that threatens to remotely brick systems in response to rule violations. So let's see. Oh, and they do get into, so Microsoft, if anything, is even more straightforward in its Xbox software license agreement. Efforts to install unauthorized software or defeat or circumvent any technical limitation, security, or anti-piracy system can mean that your Xbox console kinetic sensor or authorized accessory may stop working permanently at the time or after a later Xbox software update, the company writes. While it's unclear how far back in history this legal clause goes, the mention of the now defunct kinetic sensor suggests it dates back at least to the Xbox One era. So, check this out, dude. This is hilarious. In 2015, Microsoft even went so far as to actively deny reports that it had bricked a console associated with a leak of an early Gears of War beta. To be clear, if a console is suspended from Xbox Live for a violation of the terms of use, it can still be used offline. Microsoft said at the time, Microsoft enforcement action does not result a console becoming unusable. Then why have it there in your user agreement, right? Now, my question to you. So,
it wasn't me. The Gears of War wasn't me. If that was your question.
No, I know you love Gears of War, and I know you would never do that.
No, I'm joking.
So, for question one, this doesn't sound legal. You know, if you spend money to buy this thing, online stuff, I guess I'll give them that. You know, you're not allowed to participate in Game Pass or the Xbox Cloud or play online on Call of Duty or stuff like that. I get that, but how are you allowed to just brick my console where I can't even play the campaign of a game offline? That sounds so illegal to me. It's like I paid $400 for this thing and you just made it a paperweight. I want my money back. But
yeah, it goes back to the whole leasing a game thing, doesn't it? So when we buy these consoles, do we really own the consoles?
No,
or the consoles just leased? Like it's like vehicles, you know, like obviously you get different vehicle agreements. You can get a PCP where you own the car until the agreement's done and you pay it off outright.
Yeah.
You get a lease option or you get a buy option, right?
Yeah.
When you buy the car, yeah, I mean, I guess it's yours.
Yeah.
But are we buying leased products at this point where it's like, right, you're buying it, but you can't do anything you want with it?
Right. True.
So it sounds leased. But
yes, thank you.
Is it like downloading basically I don't know, like modding a game, basically? Is it basically downloading things and mod a game? Like stuff like that?
I think they're more like piracy or like I don't know, turning your like using it for hacking or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, because I remember like on Gears of War, funny enough, like in some game modes you can hack the game, so you can do like it's called wall bouncing. Gears of War fans will know about that. Wall bouncing. So then you come off the wall and then you basically like you're jittering all over the place, but you're shooting your shotgun and it's like you're up against the Flash basically, or Reverse Flash. You can't hit Reverse Flash because he's so fast. It's like that. Now, if they mean stuff like that, then I mean, it's not great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's as bad to, you know, completely brick a console. Like it's a difficult one, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were loaning the console and the console's still owned by the company, so Microsoft, Sony, or whatever, I get that completely because then they own the console. It's their product. I get that.
Right.
But then when you actually purchase the products, if it's yours, I think you should be able to do whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
Because it's yours.
Yes.
Unless it's affecting servers where it causes viruses or it's causing like a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
That's different.
Right.
But if it's not doing that much damage, then it's yours.
Right. And so
isn't it?
This is, dude, I've said this because Sony way back, like 4 years ago, they were talking about, having a way to kind of listen in on conversations, but I mean, not listen in, but players could clip conversations and send it to them and they would review it and decide whether or not they were going to ban someone or not. I'm pretty sure they probably went through with that. They got a lot of backlash for it, but I'm pretty sure they just quietly kind of just snuck it in there. So it seems like that to me. There are already things in place for piracy, for hacking, there are things in place for that. We don't need you as a company to invade. This seems like kind of an invasion of privacy type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you should not be able to brick my console. You should not be able to do that. If someone's hacking something with the Nintendo, the authorities can handle that. That's part of their job.
Yeah.
It's not your job, Nintendo, to brick my console. I already paid for it. It's not yours anymore.
This is it. Like if the console, so so we have CEX in the UK. I think you guys have GameSpot. So sometimes you can trade in consoles and stuff and trade in games. So obviously, if the console's been hacked to a point where it's now customized, then arguably and rightly so, I think you shouldn't be able to trade that console in.
Yeah.
Because you customize it so much, it's not what you bought originally.
Right.
It's no longer out of the box. You customize it so it's yours.
Yep.
So it's a tricky one, because if you buy it, it's yours.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. It's like back in the day, right? We had a game called Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
And it never had the legitimate football attires. It was just plain.
Yeah.
Right? FIFA had all the licenses, so they had all the badges, all the logos, everything.
Yeah.
So back in the day, you had individuals who had a memory card. Remember PlayStation, the memory card?
Yep.
And someone would customize all the attires, have the logos, have the badges, have the footballs and the boots. And what you do is you can patch it onto your console, so then your football players now have all the logos and everything.
That's sick. Yeah.
And the thing is, I think, obviously I don't want to say blah, 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 but there must have been some awareness about that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were doing that. And that seemed to be fine, because you're not really doing anything like crazy on the console. It's just simply on your memory card.
Yeah.
And you're patching your game.
Yeah.
But I suppose the question is, where does that stop, I guess? Like, what's the threshold? Like, do we have examples in the article or anything, just to say, right, you can't do this, you can't do that? Oh, is this where they cover themselves and just, don't say it? And then people work around it.
I don't know. I don't think I read anything. So here, they have the legal power. Just because the major console makers don't tend to make use of the brick switch, on their hardware, doesn't mean that they don't have the legal right to do so. Although users own the hardware, the software that's needed to run it is subject to a license agreement. That is just, if you violate the license terms, Nintendo has the right to revoke your access to that software. It's less common for software makers to revoke access to software in a way that disables hardware. It's like you disable the software, the hardware is rendered unusable. So that to me seems really ridiculous. So court of public opinion. In the end, these kinds of draconian bricking clauses may be doing their job even if the console makers involved don't invoke them. In practice, I expect this kind of thing is more about scaring people away from jailbreaking and modifying their systems. And
that's the word I'm looking for. Jailbreaking.
Gotcha.
That's the word I'm
looking
for. Right, got it.
So
that makes I kind of get it, to be honest.
I'm firm in the pocket of revoke my online access, but you can't revoke the software on the game, rendering the game unusable, or the device. That's complete and utter bull crap. I think that sounds so illegal to me. The FTC should take a look at this.
I know. I can see both arguments. But the problem is, like, it's not just games. It's products as well. So say like Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you download a version of it which is like cracked, right?
Yeah.
If there's an upgrade to that, then it's always advised not to upgrade it because it could break something to a point where now that product you've purchased or whatever it is broken.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what this is. So if you jailbreak something, then and there's an update for the game, then your game, you don't really want to update your game anyway because it's going to obviously check these things to check if the game's been jailbroken. If that's a word.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those. That's why like it's always advised never to upgrade if you jailbreak things.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Right on. Good deal. I can see where you're coming from, but
It's a tough one.
I still think
it's
that,
a tough one.
especially companies, stay out of my house. After I give you my money, leave me the heck alone.
Y'all ain't gonna go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here.
Exactly right. Oh, here's a fun one. That was, and I would love to hear people in the comments what you think about that. Should companies be able to just completely render your PlayStation 5, your Switch 2, or your Xbox Series X completely unusable? I don't think so, but I'm willing to hear compelling arguments. I'm willing to hear them.
I want to hear arguments from everyone we associate with. That's everyone. I know everyone will have an opinion on it. Everyone. I'll name them: Kenshin, Nas, Gigi, Beerus, Loki. We need to hear opinions on it because I know they have really strong opinions on stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it'll be really good to hear it.
Right on. I'm posted. Yeah. Definitely got to put that on X. Well, we'll clip this and put it on X and see what's going on. This one is coming from Insider Gaming. Naughty Dog confirms secret game is in development. Now, we know that they have the Heretic Prophet that's coming out with the 80s aesthetic, which I love that. I love the, time didn't pass by the 80s, but we still got spaceships and stuff like that. I think that's
and it had all those
sick
logos like Under Armour and stuff like that.
Porsche.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't put the actual names in there, but the aesthetic, the aesthetic is cool. But when you start like putting company names in there, it's like, ooh, that's kind of gross. I don't know if I like that so much. But they do have another secret game that they're working on. So I want to say it was Neil Druckmann. So after co-creating The Last of Us, Druckmann wrote and produced the critically acclaimed. Why are we talking about that? Okay, here we go. On the Press X to Continue podcast, Druckmann revealed there is another game at Naughty Dog being worked on, and I am more of a producer role. I am more of a producer role. Okay, I think they meant to say I am in more of a producer role and get to mentor and watch this other team give feedback and be like the executive in the room. News about a new game first surfaced in March as a leak revealed that an unannounced game had been in development for 3 years. Okay. Man, that kind of makes you think, how long has the Heretic Prophet been in development? Goodness.
That's quite interesting because sorry, I was
no,
going to say
good.
I don't think it'll be Last of Us 3, and it does say that because what was that guy's name again? Sorry. Basically, the guy who's overseeing now.
Neil Druckmann.
Neil Druckmann. So I think he was heavily involved in the other Last of Us. So if he's just mentoring and overseeing, then I doubt the game will be Last of Us 3 because I imagine he'd probably want more involved.
That's a very good point.
The next sentence just confirms it. So.
Right on. Shoot. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. So I think we talked about this last time. It was about Xbox putting all their games on PlayStation, and so on PlayStation, the PS1 era, we had Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, and I want to say PlayStation 2 was Jak and Daxter coming from Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
So what I think they should do, since this unannounced game, I guarantee won't be, Jak and Daxter, they should give it to Toys for Bob and let them revamp it. Let them take it. My gosh, dude, they're doing us so
you
dirty.
never know. You never know. Like, it's you never know.
Every time Naughty Dog gets an announcement or Sony is like, "Oh, here's a new game," but it's just like a refresh of The Last of Us. They did that like 3 times. A remaster. It was like, "Oh, we remastered Last of Us. Here, you like it?" Like, no, I wanted a Jak and Daxter. Oh, here's Horizon Zero Dawn remastered. You like it? It's like, no, I want a Jak and Daxter.
Naughty Dog did that as well.
What's that?
Naughty Dog did Horizon.
No. It was
sorry.
Guerrilla Games or something like that.
Oh, sorry, you're just talking
That's
about like
my bad.
remasters in general.
Right. Yes. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. No. I get it. But yeah, you're right though. Like, what? I don't know why these Last of Us games are being revamped. They haven't been out that long to be. Like,
Oh my gosh,
remastered. The graphics still work. Like the first Last of Us, I played quite late because I played number 2 straight after, and the graphics held really, really well.
Yeah, dude.
Because that transition from Last of Us 1 to Last of Us 2, I was gobsmacked by the graphics in Last of Us 2.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
and Last of Us 2 is in my top tier games of all time.
Right on. Okay.
Regardless of what people say about the storylines and the characters, like that game was sick.
Yeah.
Like in everything, story, graphics, mechanics, everything. Like to a point, I wanted to play the game as soon as it ended. I wanted to play it again. That's how good it was.
Sick, right?
I was like, this game is sick. Like, oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was. What did they call it? They call it misery. Misery corn. I guess that's what people say in place of another word that YouTube doesn't like very much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. Yeah, I know a lot of people were crapping on that game. Though.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't appreciate it just because, dude, the graphics were ridiculous. The voice acting was another level. It was fantastic. It was so great. Good. And the choice to kill Joel off was a choice, but it felt like the game was like, we're going to break you with this, but we have a story to tell you after. If you would come with this. And I didn't think the story was bad. I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, no, right on. Like with Joel dying, I didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it because Joel was a very good character. Because obviously we saw him as the main protagonist ultimately.
Right. Yeah.
And when he died, it's one of those because it felt like it added to the story as well. Because obviously there's that revenge plot and why did they kill him and why did they do this? And then when it all comes full circle, you're like, this story's deep.
Yeah. It's like Joel was there from the very beginning. or Abby was there from the very beginning.
I know, like Abby's a sick character.
Yeah. What I didn't like about God, not Abby, but what was the female protagonist? I can't remember her name. Ellie, thank you. So what I didn't like what they did with Ellie and Joel was they made her so God, like she didn't appreciate that Joel saved her life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like that.
I freaking hated that, and it almost took me out of the game. It almost took me out of it. But the way she treated him for risking life and limb to save his surrogate daughter, and she just kind of spits on it and says, "You took that away from me." It's like, okay, how about a little gratitude? He saved your life.
I know, and he was busting his ass trying to save her life as well. Like, you know, and obviously he obviously killed not scientists, but like doctors, nurses, and whatnot. You know what I mean? So, and then you're right, because that did annoy me. But then it's one of those things where I don't know. did they kind of make up for that towards the end of the game when you saw flashbacks and everything, and you can see that she felt bad and whatnot. But yeah,
I would have loved the approach of give gratitude, but tell them how you feel. It's like,
yes,
it's like, dude, I appreciate what you did for me, but you don't know what that would have meant for me being able to provide something for the world, to save the world. You don't know what that would have meant for me. But the gratitude, you got to give gratitude, because for one, you know, I don't think they told Ellie that it could kill her. I don't think they told her that. And once Joel found out, it's like, she might not make it through. It's like, did you just say, let me go get my daughter up out of here? It's like any dad would react the exact same way. It's like, I did think she knew. I think eventually, but she was still willing to die. And it was just like, are you listening to yourself right now? Like, here's a question for you, right? So let's say your daughter saved the world. Which one you taking?
Exactly. There's only one answer to that.
Yes, exactly.
Like, your daughter.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
screw the world.
I'm saving my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, forget like everything else. Like, there'll be another way.
Exactly. It's like, you want me to save the world despite my daughter, or you know, to lose my daughter. All you guys gonna do is, you know, do more wars, nukes, and all this and stuff? Nah, I'll take my daughter, yo. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I mean, 100%. So, having said that, now you can see why Joel is how he is, because it makes sense. As a father, you want to protect your daughter. As simple as that. Like, if it came down to, all right, my daughter has this vaccination which can save the world, but the result is she dies. It's like, well, you're not taking my daughter away from me.
No.
So you need to go think of another way. Or we all gonna die.
Exactly. It's like, don't look at me. I got my daughter. I'm dying a happy day.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Right or die, man. Like, shit.
Yeah. Exactly. Question for you though. So like a new Uncharted, but they said no Last of Us Part 3. So, or something fresh. What are you thinking? What direction you think they're gonna go with this? I guess even taking like inspiration from the Heretic Prophet, because that one's a fresh one. Which way you think they're gonna go with this?
I think the new studio that Neil was overseeing, it'll be a brand new game.
Okay, right on.
What game it is, I couldn't tell you, but I think it'll be like games we know Naughty Dog for, like a single player action type of story. I think they'll go for that. What do you think?
I think the same. They did have that one departure, that one live service that The Last of Us was supposed to be. They were supposed to be making a Last of Us live service, and oh god, it was one of their executives, Sony's executives. He said he actually played it and it was good.
All right,
but
he's gonna say it.
Oh yeah. There's Nas again. I hear Nas.
He's gonna say that.
Of course he's gonna say that. He was a Sony executive.
Let's get a fan to play the game and then see what the fan thinks.
That's great.
Without paying the fan, by the way. Just say, right, play the game and just give us your honest feedback.
Yeah, because Sony was writing him fat checks, guaranteed.
No, man. Constructive feedback. Come on, man. Come on, guys. Let's stop masking the problem. Let's let's have these conversations.
Yeah. Right on. Oh, here's really good news. Are you a fan of Prince of Persia?
I haven't played it.
Okay.
I know of it.
Yeah.
I can understand the lure. So let's see what you got.
Right on. Okay. So Ubisoft is in a bit of a mess right now. However, they are still saying that you can expect Prince of Persia, the remake, April of 2026. If it's good, so how I vision a remake is something kind of akin to how Resident Evil's doing theirs. I know people were mad at 3 when they redid that one because they shortened it a lot and was still charging like, you know, $40. I want to say it was $40 or $50 for it, and people were pissed off at that, rightly so. But if they go in here and update the mechanics, it doesn't have to be a complete revamp. Just make it smoother, you know, up to snuff, and make it beautiful. You know, I'm not saying the game is ugly or anything like that. It's for the times, and I think it still looks really good. But if they make it up to like current gen graphics, I will forgive all of Ubisoft's ills. I'll forgive them all.
Are they? Do you think they're planning to make a lot of sales on this game, or is it more a case of here's what we've committed to, we're gonna deploy it anyway?
If it comes out good, I think they can expect people, a lot of goodwill to come back to them, because they've lost a lot of it, just because of, you know, them leaning so heavily on Assassin's Creed. You know, that's not the only game you guys have in your chamber. You know,
Locker chamber. Same.
Yeah. You've got great games. You were known for fantastic games. Bringing those back. Naughty Dog, I'm talking to you too. Your butts. Good Lord. Come on, guys.
You want your Jackson Daxter?
Yes, I want Jack and Daxter, dude. I've got the
You know what I'm gonna do one day? It might not be today, or might be today. I'm gonna tag Naughty Dog and say, hey, you guys I'm just gonna do it, you know? Like, it'll be so mad if I got a response that says, oh yeah, working on it, it'll be out next year. I'm like, there you go, Fox.
Oh shoot, dude.
That'd be crazy.
It's like, you ever seen Wayne's World?
No, I know of it.
It's like,
well,
we're not
no,
worthy. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Oh my gosh. But that's a bit of good news. I tell you, Ubisoft, take Capcom's approach, bring out the oldies but goldies, revamp them for the current gen. A lot of goodwill will be brought back to you. I can almost guarantee it. I mean, look how it did for Capcom. Look, what other studio? Konami's in the process of getting that done too with Delta.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. Yeah,
they are another studio that needs to win back goodwill with fans.
Oh yeah, because that Metal Gear game they brought out was not great. The zombie one,
it was so bad.
Yeah, that was not great. But yeah, you're right. I think this game will definitely bring back, you know, goodwill. Yeah, I think. All right, it's a remaster, but it can open realms of possibilities, because if the sales do really well, then who's to say they won't make a new IP? Who's to say they won't? And I really, really hope they do this. Remaster the first ever Metal Gear Solid with modern day graphics. That would be crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely crazy. Like the game had 2 discs. I remember that. Imagine that in this modern generation with all the technology and everything. It would be crazy.
I kind of feel like, dude, you'd be crazy not to. You know what I mean? It's such a layup for a lot of these companies. It's such a layup because, you know, the established fan base is there. You know.
Yeah, this is it. And the thing is,
man,
you'll bring in a lot of new audiences, and I bet you they will look at it and think, oh wow, have you played that new game, Metal Gear Solid? And then fans will tell you, mate, that game's been out for years. Like that's how ahead of its time that game was. Yeah, it could work in this generation.
The espionage, dude. Everybody loves a good double agent deal.
Man. Yeah, like tactical and everything, man. Yeah,
dude. Heck yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Looking forward to this. I think more companies should remake their oldies. You know, capture that established fan base, and you can get more people into the fold. People do it for a reason. Ubisoft's doing it for a reason. Yeah. Oh, quick update. PS5s have sold a total of 77.8 million. Yeah. Period.
Ooh, okay. Hold on, let me just write that in for the timestamp. Right.
I appreciate it so much, dude.
No, it's cool, man. That's what I'm saying. Transparency, guys. You know, I gotta write this down. Fox has got to do his thing. Like it's a team effort, you know.
It is, and I appreciate it, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, no, good, man. It's somewhat fun at the same time as well, because it just like mentally, I just need to pay attention to what you're talking about because I'm writing the.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So attention spans like even more on it.
Right on.
But yeah, that's a lot. 77.8 million. That's a lot.
So so I want to say they are a little bit behind the PS4 at the same point in its life cycle. I think they go into it. Yeah, so that was really, really good news for them. There was during their quarterly earnings or whatever. But I want to say, so PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 software combined sold 76.1 million units during the 3 months. And holy crap, PlayStation 4s too, which is a 3.5 million. Good lord, I didn't. So now that makes me want to go and look at the numbers for the PS4 now, because I want to say, what was it? They were at like 114 million. So with that 3, they've got to be up to like 117, maybe. Anyway,
so is PS5 at this stage of its cycle? Is it doing better sales wise than PS4?
I think it's lagging right behind it. It's really close. Okay. So I've said this on prior live streams. I don't think that they will reach the numbers that PlayStation 4 did. For one, they don't have the games. All their like huge games were from third-party studios.
Yeah,
they didn't have a lot of first parties going out.
Yeah.
So they need the games to, console selling games. And then the fact that, this digital landscape, I think, is going more towards what Xbox is doing than what PlayStation is doing. What they really need to do, which I think I remember reading something that PlayStation's kind of subscription service is doing really, really well. So they might go the same way that Xbox is, but with the current landscape that we're in, I don't think that they will reach those kinds of numbers again. Just like I don't think the Switch 2 will sell 160 million or 150 million units. I don't think they'll see those numbers again. I don't think so.
Yeah, it depends. As you said, it depends what the pricing is like. This is a console which obviously, did it come out during COVID or just after or something like that?
It did. So, it was like in the midst of it. It's tricky, isn't it? Because obviously some people lost jobs, they weren't working. So obviously, it was more about survival at that point, right? You know what I mean? Like, what could you get from the supermarket before people just wrap it up in a big bag and take it? So sitting on thrones of toilet paper.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, what
So
you guys?
crazy.
That happened to you guys in the States as well?
Oh yeah, it was bad, dude.
Wow. Yeah, same here. Like everyone just swiped up the bog rolls, man, and just and it's like, right, okay, like. I would have thought people would have got canned food or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because that's what I did. I got like all these canned foods and thought, right, I'm gonna need this for a rainy day.
Yes.
And everyone was just like, no, I need toilet paper. I'm like, right, okay.
It was so they could resell.
I know it. Oh yeah, that happened a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear, that happened a lot.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, you mentioned a good point as well. A lot of PS5 or PS4 games were just upscaled to PS5. So, and I was one of those individuals that was like, well, why do I need to buy a PS5 if it's just upscaling a game from PS4? I might as well just keep the PS4.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's one of those things. If PS5 had more exclusives, maybe the sales would have been more.
Yep.
But remember, when the next GTA comes out, you might have individuals out there who want to get a PS5 Pro just to see how great GTA looks, if that makes sense.
That is a great point.
It sounds like this is it, because GTA sounds like it's pushing all the specs right now.
Yes.
So and you got like fanboys and fangirls that want to see how far the limits can be pushed, so they'll probably get PS5 Pro because that's the best you can get. Some people might even get a new TV just to see how good it looks.
Yeah.
So these numbers might increase due to GTA.
Right on. We'll have to see. And I do have to give Sony a kudos, because like you said, it did come out during the thick of COVID, and that was when they couldn't get chips. They couldn't get these things on the shelf fast enough.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember the chips.
And they still are keeping pace, pretty close with the PlayStation 4. So I got to give them kudos for that. I still stand by. I don't think it'll sell as much. It's like, and we're like 5 years into its life cycle now with all this.
That's crazy.
Already,
that's crazy.
Dude, it's nuts. It's nuts to think about. Golly. But yeah. So quick update. PlayStation 5 sold 77.8 million units at this point in its life cycle. Impressive number, especially how everything started, but still don't think it'll surpass PlayStation 4's numbers. PlayStation 4 had the games.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Oh, and here's a great update. Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts 4, they got some new images out.
Okay.
So we got this one, which we saw in one of the trailers. This young girl. I don't think anyone knows who she is. Oh, well, we know her name. I don't know what part she's gonna play in the new game.
Mm-hmm.
An old phone. Okay. Oh, Mickey in this gigantic library. I wonder that. I mean, it could be Beauty and the Beast. Could be.
Yeah, you know what? I've never played these games, but I can see the lure behind it. I think Kenshin's a fan of Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, she's the one that schooled me on it because.
Yeah, you both are. Yeah. I remember we had a conversation about it. Yeah.
I felt like they left me behind. Like God of War, it had individual like stories, like on the PSP, Chains of Olympus. It was separated from the larger story, right? What Kingdom Hearts did was take those PSP games, and I want to say they were on Nintendo too. They took those little PSP games and they expanded on the story with those. So if you didn't play them, you have no idea what's going on
that's a bit
the major, like, you know, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. You have no idea. Like, I remember seeing Aqua for the first time. I only know that because I looked at it. I was like, who the is this? But I saw Aqua for the first time. I was like, who the hell is this? And so, yeah, I feel like this franchise left me behind. And it's really sad to say, but because it was one of my favorite, dude, the soundtrack of these games are
I can imagine
so good. Good.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's a picture of the Heartless, this gigantic son of a biscuit right here. You got Sora in the midst of that. So the trailer that they showed for it, he's waking up in this new world. He looks not completely different, but he looks more realistic. And I was super intrigued, like, where are they going with this one? And it really pisses me off that this man is not home yet with his friends. You know, it's like, dude, you've been doing all this fighting. You haven't finished it yet? Come on. But yeah, I'm still super interested to see where they go with this. This is how he's looking now. He doesn't have the cartoony look. And his feet are regular size too. They're not gigantic. But yeah. And you got him sliding on a chain. I think I like the aesthetic. I like how it looks. I'm still mad that Kingdom Hearts, they left me behind. I'm still mad about that. But I'm willing to go in here and see what all this is about. It looks pretty cool. So anybody who's interested in this, I think we have a quote from here. So we've seen how excited you are, and we are truly grateful from the bottom of our hearts. The second post. Oh, so there's a first post. So we're currently working hard on Kingdom Hearts 4, and we'll continue pouring ourselves into the game's development. We're dedicated to making this an experience that lives up to your expectations, said the first of two posts, alongside a collage of several screenshots that not only show us some of the characters you can expect to meet, but also a sneak peek at some stills from cinematics, combat, platforming, and an intimidatingly large enemy, which that's not uncommon for Kingdom Hearts. So the second post, we've seen how excited you are, blah, blah, blah. We are equally excited and can't wait to share more about Kingdom Hearts 4 when the time is right. Until then, we appreciate your patience. Thank you for your continued support.
Sorry to interject, Fox. You see, this is what Dragon Age should do. You know, like, you know, I've never run a gaming studio or anything like that, but I'm looking at this and you can see the difference.
Yes.
There's been communication with the fans. Feedback's been taken on board. They've said, we've seen how excited you are, so they know what the fans want from a scope. They know what the scope is.
Yeah.
They said, right, here's some screenshots so far. And you know the screenshots are just to gauge and get fans' feedback. Say, right, here's what it looks so far. And Fox, yourself as a fan, have said, you like the graphics, you're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You see, that's what feedback is.
Yes.
You know, so when you hear like, oh, people are judging books by covers, blah 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 blah, yeah, because they go on the back of what they've seen.
You know what? Shoot, man, I've tried to get into the third one. I still haven't beaten that one. I have it. That one's another in the backlog. But oh, man, it just every time I pick it up and start playing, I'm like, you motherfucker, you left me behind. Now I have no idea what's going on in this world.
You can YouTube it. Like I YouTube a lot of games where I haven't got time to either play it or I'm just intrigued. And you do have some content creators who actually play the game from start to finish. So if there's any gaps in the timeline that you're unaware of, type it in Google, full gameplay. Someone will have it. Like someone will. I don't think there's any doubt. Someone will have it.
There's a bunch of the time frame for. So I know the lore, but I just hate how you had to get into the weeds of these PSP games and Nintendo games to really get the full scope of what's going on. I did not like that. This one's for you, Scotty. Check this out.
Oh yeah.
Gears of War movie, landing David Leitch
wow,
as director.
Is it actually happening? Do you know how many times I've bloody been searching for this over the years to a point I just gave up?
Apparently, they found a director, so I think this is happening. So the Fall Guy director, which was a fantastic movie, it got crapped on. Well, it didn't get crapped on. I take that back. But not a lot of people went to go see the Fall Guy. Okay. And dude, I recommend it. It's freaking good. Me and my wife both loved it. The Fall Guy director is in negotiations to help Gears of War, Netflix's big budget adaptation of one of the biggest video game franchises on the Xbox platform, soon to be on PlayStation. John Spates, who's working with Denis Villeneuve on adapting Frank Herbert's Dune books for Legendary, is writing the script for the feature, for which Netflix has partnered with the Coalition Studio, the Canadian game developer behind the franchise. Leitch and his wife and producing partner Kelly McCormick will produce the feature via their 87 North banner along with Coalition. Okay, and yeah, Netflix is going to be a Netflix movie, which is hit or miss. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I believe it when I see it, because I've seen it for so many years. There were times I saw Dave Bautista was Marcus Phoenix for years. I've seen Lester Spite, who originally plays Cole, was going to be playing Cole in the movie. I've seen it so many times, so I'll believe it when I actually see a trailer.
So, do you think Dave Bautista's perfect casting for Phoenix?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Like, I can't think of anyone else. I mean, obviously, we've got a lot more actors in the industry now, so maybe someone else. But I think Dave Bautista, like, just picture him with a bandana, Marcus Phoenix bandana. I think that's him.
Right on.
I think Cole is set because Lester Spite is playing Cole.
Yeah.
So I think that's set. The other characters, I don't know, is a tricky one.
Yeah.
I think the voice actor who plays Dom Santiago could be Dom Santiago.
Okay.
But it probably won't happen, because they don't tend to do that, do they? They don't tend to keep the voice actors.
They don't. I think Jin Sakai in Sucker Punch, he was the voice actor and the model for Jin Sakai. I think. But it is the departure. They don't usually do that. I think they're doing it with Ghost of Yote too. I think she's the model for it and the voice actress.
Okay.
But yeah, like you said, you don't usually see that happening. So excited, super excited, or you're cautiously optimistic?
Cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
Only because I've seen this many times before, and it's like, I believe when I see it's like the new Mortal Kombat movie that was out a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I always saw it was in development hell for years and years and years. So what, you just give up.
Yes.
And then when you see it, it's like, right, I'll wait for a trailer. Then when I saw the trailer, then it's like, okay, this is happening.
It's happening. Freaking, that's how I feel about the Spawn reboot they're supposed to be doing. And Jamie Foxx is supposed to be playing Spawn. But
didn't know that.
And you see little tidbits coming out. You know, Jamie Foxx says Spawn is still happening, and then God, what is he? I have a bunch of his figures over Todd McFarlane. He keeps coming out and saying oh yeah, we're still doing it. We're going through the script, blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, whatever, dude. Just I lost hope. I lost hope. So I know exactly what you mean, dude. I know exactly what you mean.
I lost hope with this movie to a point where it's like, I believe it when I see a trailer now. Like, it's just words.
Yeah,
it's just words.
And so what's funny? Dave, he lost a lot of weight. Batista, he lost a lot of weight. He's lean and mean. He's gonna have to get back on the sauce, dude, because all those guys are super jacked.
Yeah, it's true. He's gonna have to pack on some muscle again, man. Because you're right, he's lean as hell.
Yeah.
So you need to bulk up, Dave. Bulk season.
It's bulk season, yes. Dude, go see The Rock. He got you. He'll show you how to do it. Oh, this is another big one. So Hideo Kojima has a USB of game ideas just in case he passes away, for people to use and carry on this legacy. This is coming from IGN. Metal Gear creator, blah 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 blah, kind of a will. So, hot on the heels of revealing a number of discarded video game ideas, and even an idea for a forgetting game where the main character gradually forgets important information and abilities if you take too long of a break from playing, Kojima has revealed he has left his staff a USB stick of game ideas for after he dies. Turning 60 was less of a turning point in my life than my experiences during the pandemic, he said. I fell seriously ill at that time and also had an eye operation. Holy crap, bud. Until then, I didn't think I was old, you know? I just didn't feel my age, and I assumed I would be able to create for as long as I live. But then I became sick and I couldn't create anything, and I saw lots of people around me passing away at that time. I was confronted with death. Of course, I recovered, but now I was thinking, wait, how many years do I have left to make a game or a film? Perhaps I have 10 years. Sheesh. So my man got confronted with his own mortality. I gave a USB stick with all my ideas on it to my personal assistant, kind of like a will. He said, perhaps they could continue to make things after I'm gone at Kojima Productions. This is a fear for me. What happens to Kojima Productions after I'm gone? I don't want them to just manage our existing IP. This man, and that's another thing. The fatigue with the Assassin's Creed 11, you know what I mean? It's like, it's time to put them on ice for a while and then bring them back out, or create new IPs. It's like, I know that a lot of these companies have the legacy IPs, you know, Gears of War kind of, because what they're up to 5 now. God of War, Assassin's Creed, freaking, you know, a lot of these, and I mean, even in the film industry, Marvel, they keep, you know, busting out movies and TV shows. It's like, and it's getting people fatigued with it. They need to put on ice and then
take a break, take a breather.
So I really like his mentality. He's like, dude, I don't want them to just manage our existing IP. Here's a USB drive. Get creative, you know.
I think that's such a that's just genius, man.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's just like, you're just lost for words. You're like, wow, like this is someone that really cares.
Yes.
Like, not just about his own games, but company's legacy and the gaming industry. That's just, I've never known anyone to turn around and say that. Oh, no. On my will, here's a list of games that you could potentially do. Here's the idea, and that might be a lot of games, man. So
dude,
going forward, like, you know, when you and I are in our old man rocking chairs, like Kojima is still producing games.
Oh, dude, that's crazy to think about.
I know.
I didn't even think that far. Oh my god, I didn't think that far into
crazy,
it.
Man.
We could be,
we
could be in our 70s, 80s. It's like, the new Kojima game just came out.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, that's sick. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
and thank you, Kojima.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Because obviously we're fans of his work, so to know that his legacy is going to be carried on is. I think that's surreal. That's crazy.
Man, you know, it would be like a Konami with the way that they did Kojima. What they could do is give him the Metal Gear franchise. or sell it to him so he can continue doing Metal Gears. And I was just talking about people are getting tired of. I want to see what they.
Well, he's got that new game he's working on, Kojima. What's it called?
The Death Stranding.
No, like a brand new game, like a new IP. I think it's called. I can't remember what it's called, but I don't know if it's meant to be like the new Metal Gear Solid. But he's working at the minute, and he says it's going to take like next 4 or 5 years. I think.
Right on. Maybe they go into.
But I think that's going to be the next big thing, though. I think.
Yeah. Golly, that's wow. Now you just opened my. Holy crap! This is a long article, dude. I didn't even go down that part. I saw. Freaking Kojima gave his team a USB of game ideas when he passes away, and I'm like, holy crap, dude. Same exact reaction you had. It's like you just don't see that. This is someone who loves making games, dude. He loves it.
That's it. He just loves it. Like he eats, shits, and breathes it.
Yeah.
Like which is what you, as a fact, is what you want.
Yeah. 100%. Yes. Yep. Right on. Freaking so Kojima planning for his legacy. Because we know he can be eccentric. You can tell by the games he makes. Freaking Death Stranding. And even like a lot of the characters from Metal Gear, they were just out of this world crazy, dude.
I know. Like very, very creative and crazy at the same time.
Dude. It's like, dude, talk about once you get to the gooey center of government run shadow cabals and all this, you get to like psychics and people who can control bees, and you know what I mean.
I know, and walk on water and like vamp, like that crazy guy, like, and he just didn't die.
No,
or did he? Like,
I think they finally killed him.
In the fourth one, I think.
Yes, I
can't remember how he died though.
Me neither.
But I think there was that thing in the second Metal Gear Sons of Liberty where you thought he died, and then you see in the trailer, oh, he's actually alive.
Well, got shot in the head. He's walking around.
Yeah, I know. The baddest thing for me was when Raiden lost his limbs and he was fighting, or something like that, and he was fighting
with his
feet.
feet.
He lose his arms or something? Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, what the heck is going on here?
Kojima,
that was crazy.
You're a mad lad, dude. Mad lad. So good.
But in a good way. In a good way.
Very good way. This is another feel-good story. See, dude, the news was just boom, 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 boom. It's
so good, man.
Skyblivion. So these are modders who were getting together, and I want to say they were making Oblivion and Skyrim, I want to say. And I've big ups to we were just talking about them Bethesda. Big ups to Bethesda. Oh, it's right in them. But they invited them over to the studio, which is sick. And it's,
that's cool.
It's big studios appreciating modders. You know what I mean? Because in a lot of cases, these modders make your game better. You know what I mean? So to show their appreciation, Bethesda invited them to the studio. So Skyblivion modders fly out to Bethesda HQ to meet Todd Howard mere weeks after getting free Oblivion remastered keys and assurances that Bethesda has no intention of shutting down their 13-year project, because they could take the Nintendo route and just say, no, all of it, no.
Take it to court.
Yeah, exactly. Golly. There are some people out there who care about people who love their games, because you're not modding on a game if you don't love the game. You know what I mean?
That's a good way of looking at it. But then, I guess, like their own spin on it.
Yeah. It's like stuff they wanted to see in the game, but they know that the devs are too busy or working on other projects, so they just do it themselves. I think that's awesome. So it says, oh, go for it, Scotty.
No, I was just gonna say, do you think that's similar to what we discussed with gaming developers, organizations being able to brick consoles?
Modding is like so low on the thing like that you have to worry about. Like, I don't even get why game studios go so hard after modders. I don't get that.
it's one of those, like, is it them being salty that the modders are creating something that they couldn't create? Where some studios are like, oh, that's pretty cool. Should we like
it might be a little bit of it, like, let's say a modder decides to make something obscene in a game and it sheds a bad light on the company. Could be a little bit of that. But if you see a modder that's, you know, doing stuff that people actually like,
be ego as well.
Could be, yeah, I think it's ego with Nintendo. Those guys are just ridiculous. But yeah, so just a quick recap. Bethesda, they love their modders, which I think is dope. I think more studios should follow after them. It's like if somebody's making something that's, you know, obscene or not safe for work and stuff like that, sure, you know, because that could reflect badly on the company. But if they're, you know, doing some good stuff in there, you know, giving other gamers what they want, you know, that's positive press for you, for one, and two, you know, show some appreciation to
They took time to do that, man. They didn't have to do that.
No, 13-year project.
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Again, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Should anyone in the game?
Do you think that there's a future collaboration between Bethesda and these modders of Skyblivion?
Maybe. I mean, they could have got jobs. You know, like,
very true. Yeah.
Or like part-time gigs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe this is something which other studios might adopt to. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I do think there's certainly opportunity, because the guys who are modding games are obviously skilled enough.
Yes.
Like, because if they're modding games, there's got to be some skill, right?
Oh,
there's a lot of things that you got to factor in with code. There's obviously writing the code itself. It's ensuring that it's checked into the right repository. This is like developer terms now. X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Aligning your code. There's a lot to it. So if you can do all of those things, then, you know, that's pretty much like your interview.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah, like, this is your proof of concept. It's like, how'd they do that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's pretty
Invite
sick.
him in, let's see.
Unless
they're just gonna bring him in and steal their ideas and just say, all right, cheers, guys.
I'm not gonna lie, I would like to see a collaboration between, you know, the modding community in these studios where they're modding the games. I would like to see that. That's showing people goodwill towards the studio. You know, I think that's good on Bethesda. Good job, guys, for that. Oh yeah, this is another one. Okay, so Borderlands 4. Randy Pitchford sort of kind of apologized. So the backstory on this man was like, someone in his comment section was like, Randy, don't make Borderlands 4 $80. And Randy said to this guy, he was like, there was a game that I really wanted back in the day, like way back, and it was $80, and I didn't have enough money for it. I worked my butt off and I bought that game. And this is him apologizing for, you know, he did add in, real fans will make it happen no matter what. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. So it's him kind of apologizing for the real fan comment. Nobody likes being taken for granted, and it was not my intent. Okay. So okay, Gearbox Software boss Randy Pitchford has been in the news for all the wrong reasons again, after claiming that a real fan will buy Borderlands 4 even if it did ask for $80. It's not really promotion. It's not really the promotion the looter shooter could use 4 months before launch, especially since everyone from a Baldur's Gate 3 developer to fans across the internet slammed his tone deaf remark. It was totally tone deaf. And he said, boy howdy, Jack GPT, is that how I sound? The executive magician tweeted. In seriousness though, nobody likes being taken for granted, and it was not my intent. I'm humbled by the love and support everyone has shown the team as we push hard to get this amazing game in your hands. They're crushing it, and I can't wait for everyone to play what's going to be the best Borderlands ever. Regardless of where the price lands, it's going to be worth it, and then some. Back to work. Now, this he shouldn't have said anything to that guy about, yeah, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to get it. This should have been his answer. This sounds, it's got a very compassionate and confident tone to it. You know what I mean? He's confident that you will love this game no matter whether it's $70, $80, even $100. This is a man that believes in his work. I can understand that. And this is a man that knows that, you know, he's humbled by the support and all that good stuff. It was a big, he put his foot in his mouth in a big way with this, especially since he doesn't even know. He has no control over where the price is going to land. He has no control over that. I want to say that's all I want to say Gearbox is Take-Two, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I want to say Take-Two.
So.
Yeah,
I think so. But yeah, you're right. Like, he might have a say or give, well, his opinion.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's all about what the market's doing.
Yeah.
So whatever team controls that,
Yep.
dictates what the price is. But it's this 80 quid controversy is getting a bit crazy, isn't it? It's literally like everywhere. I mean, like, if that's the market, then that's the market. I think the only way to answer this, so if you don't like a game that's £80, then don't buy it.
Yeah.
Like, don't buy it, because if you buy it, as people say, like, you're part of the problem.
Yes.
This is it. Like, just don't buy it. Like, there's so many things I've stopped buying because of the pricing. Like, what game? There's been so many games I wanted to buy, but I didn't like the price. I didn't buy it. Yeah. Simply because of the price. I think it's ridiculous. So I'm hoping for the price to go down at some point. And it's not because I can't afford it. I just can't justify, as you've said, Fox, I can't justify paying a game for that price. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's just like that's a week's grocery shopping, man. Yeah. It's not justifiable. Like, what? Like, if you look at a game like Mario Kart, we'll say Mario Kart. Going back to an article I think it was the short that we listened to earlier, when the lady said Mario Kart being $80. Yeah, upset about it. Like, we know Nintendo's gaming cycles. There's always a Mario Kart per console, I believe, right? So if a console is going to be out for 5 years, £80 for 5 years, you look at it, that doesn't seem too bad. Right. £80 for 5 years. But if it's a game like Assassin's Creed, £80 when you know another Assassin's Creed is going to be out the next year. Like, what? Like, what? Like, it needs to, and I'm not saying that I'm not going to buy an £80 game. What I'm saying is there's some games which cost £80 which isn't justifiable. Right. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, if you play like the FIFAs, the NFLs, the basketball, NBA games, X, Y, and Z, you know they're going to bring out another game next year. Yep. The only price drop you're going to see is when it's off season and the season has ended. Then what's the point? Because by that point, the new game's going to come out. You got new transfers. You got the draft. Everything that's happened, and they're all on new teams. Yep. So you're behind. Yeah. Goodness gracious. That's going to be a point of contention for a long time, guaranteed. Yeah. It's like the raising prices of games. But do you think he saved face? So I don't know if they actually have the. I mean, fair play to replying. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like there's some things you just don't want to reply to. Yeah. I think. Yeah. So I think he should have replied, but with this, not saying that if you're a real fan, you'll make it happen. This seems considerate. Yeah. You can't say that. Like, if you're a real fan, is that what he said? Yeah. Yeah, you can't say that. Like, because like I'm sure there's been people over the years that have bought games, invested in. I'm sure Borderlands is such a big franchise that they've got T-shirts, they've got like other merchandise, X, Y, and Z, and fanboys, fangirls would buy those things. Yeah. You can't now turn around and say because the game's £80 and you don't buy it, you're not a real fan. Like, come on. True. Like, come on. Like, yeah, I mean, there was a story on Borderlands 4. I remember there was someone that was going to die, I think, from cancer. And what Gearbox did, they flew that individual over to play Borderlands 4 before it was even out.
I want to say, there's been a couple of stories like that. I want to say Bethesda did that too with, oh no, never mind. What they did, they added his anyway, go for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So like to me, that was a very kind gesture. But obviously that individual was clearly a real fan, right? Because you would have gauged from his interaction with you that he was a real fan. Otherwise, you wouldn't invite him to the studio. You know, so just because someone doesn't buy an £80 game doesn't make them not a real fan.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, you can't say that. That'll make people not buy your game saying that.
Yeah. Now, do you think that he kind of put out the fire with this follow-up tweet here after the backlash?
Oh, I see. You know what? It's just is he blaming ChatGPT for his original?
No,
that's what.
I don't think so.
So what?
I don't think
he said,
so.
"Boy, howdy, ChatGPT. Is that how I sound?" And he said, "In all seriousness, though, nah. I feel like his response was written by him originally, and he's blaming ChatGPT for that. Hence why he's put ChatGPT, because if it was ChatGPT and he clearly name reference, then OpenAI can turn around and say, "Well, we can search that for you if you want. You didn't type that in." Oh, this is. I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. It just literally, you know, when something just sinks.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what he was saying.
You don't think? I don't know. I'm reading that as. So he started off by saying, "Boy, howdy, ChatGPT, is that how I sound?" And then the next comment was, "In all seriousness, though, nobody likes being taken granted for, and it was not my intent." So it's like, so it sounds like to me is you've written that original comment, you're now trying to deflect it and say it was an AI comment, and you're trying to redeem yourself by now saying, "In all seriousness, though."
I don't know. I think it might have just been a joke. But
I don't know, man. I'm not having it.
Right on. I think it's a good response. I think he should just kind of lay low until the game comes out now.
Yeah. Don't say anything.
Engage with fans in a positive way. But as far as like telling people how you really feel, and I think social media has kind of muddied the waters like that. You know, we all know about the celebrities and they're coming out, you know, telling us, you know, everything and how that has kind of, you know, changed people's perception of you know, celebrities now. They're no longer on the pedestal, unreachable, untouchables. You know, they're, you know, just crazy people like the rest of us, some way crazier than others. But I think social media has kind of broken that illusion. You know, we've never had this much interaction or like we've never been able to talk to the people that play games or make movies and things like that. And these guys and girls just come out and just say some of the wildest crap ever, dude. And I think social media is really bad for them. It's good for us. It lets us know how you really feel. You know.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, forget. I call bullshit on this. I think, and look, in the paragraph at the bottom in bold, it says, "Real fans backlash by doubling down on the fact he doesn't set the price."
Yeah.
Like, I think he said something, and he's blaming ChatGPT for it, or an AI piece of technology.
Yeah.
And then he went, in all seriousness, though. Listen, man, like, I might not be the smartest individual in the world. I can read people, read comments. I think this guy tried to pull a fast one. I think. Yeah, I think he's
that
tried
wasn't
it.
really me, guys. That wasn't me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like every single person that blamed COVID for this, COVID for that. Oh, because of COVID, we did it. Come on, man. Like, be accountable. If that's what you said, own it and say, "That's what I said. I made a mistake."
Yeah. Say it with your chest. Stand 10 toes on it.
Blaming technology. Come on, man. Like, I'm calling it bullshit.
Right on. To me personally, I think that he kind of saved face. He should just lay low until the game comes out and then he can get back to whatever the heck. But yeah, I think this was proper. It was proper. Does it mean that he's probably affected the sales of this game with that first comment?
Oh, definitely. Oh no, but it was an AI technology. It was Chat GPT, or it was. He didn't say it. Well, and also, if that's how you sound, what, you didn't proofread your comment, firstly, and what, you were so lazy, you didn't actually reply to the fan. You thought, write me a comment on blah blah blah. Come on, man. I watch a lot of law shows, man. Come on, man. I know when someone's bullshitting.
Right on.
Come on, man.
Shoot, man. It is 5:30 over here. I think this is a good place to wrap it up.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. Everyone, appreciate everyone that tuned in. This is awesome. Leave comments on the stories that you found interesting. Let us know how you feel about this. We've given you all of our opinions. Now we want to hear yours. Scotty, any last remarks? Any final
any last remarks? Let's see if this Gears of War movie is a thing.
Yes.
It would make my day if it actually was a thing, because I've been searching for this since college. What else? Congrats to PlayStation 5 for the sales, 77.8 million. That's good. And I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, there's much more to talk about, or final thoughts, but there'll be timestamps. Everyone that's watching, have a look. And as Fox said, it'll be good to get your opinions on things. Yeah. Especially like what we wanted opinions on, I think. The price, what was it? Naughty Dog's game. Like, what game do they think will be the next Naughty Dog IP? PlayStation putting out with Bungie's marketing. As well. The marketing for the game. What's your thoughts on that? And we looked at trailers like Blaze of Fire, the Precinct, and Fraymakers. So let's see your opinions. What do you think?
Oh yeah. Let us know where to find you, Scotty, and then we'll go ahead and close this thing out.
Scotty Boozy on Twitter or X or Twix. Scotty Boozy on YouTube.
Right.
Fox, have you got any final thoughts before we go?
This is a big news day today. huge. The thing that I'm probably most excited about, I thought Hideo Kojima, that's freaking genius. The man continues to leave us in awe, excited about Kingdom Hearts 4, even though they left me behind. I'm willing to jump back in it if it's, good enough. I'm talking about breaking new ground, and it looks like they're doing that. I think it's completely illegal for, companies to brick your console. I think that feels illegal to me. I would definitely like to hear people's thoughts on that. And then, Capcom. What I want to know, I want to hear your thoughts on, what do you think this will be just a, over the years, the past few years, we've seen companies expand, buy studios. Do you think that Capcom is going down that same path, or do you think there's a method to their madness? Do you think they'll survive this expansion? Because we've seen it, Embracer Group, we've seen Ubisoft, we've seen a lot of these companies expand and then have to shrink. Do you think Capcom is following in those same footsteps? Leave them in the comments. But I think that's it. Yeah.
That's it, man. It's been a good one.
Yeah.
Cheers, Fox, as always.
As always. Heck yeah, dude. Right on. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, and I'll talk to you backstage.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, guys.
Right on. It's like, big thank you to Scotty Boozy for coming through and joining me. It's the only time we can really get together because we're on opposite sides of the world. But awesome. Always have awesome conversations. We will be taking these and splicing these up. You can catch it on X. I want to say our X is Casual Consumers. We'll be putting it on Instagram, Casual Consumers. And go check out Scotty Boozy, his YouTube, his X, and see what updates he's going to be coming out with next. Other than that, thank you everybody for joining in. If you watched and didn't comment, still appreciate you. You're all welcome here. Really appreciate it. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Until next time, keep it casual. Peace.